I think this question is kind of confusing and annoying, and at least on my screen when I did it, I couldn't fit the full chart, so I had to keep like scrolling around. So you can see on my screen here, it's not fitting either. So let's focus on the question. Let's see if there's anything we can do, since it's a graph question, about the accuracy of these things. We need to complete the statement with data from the table, but as it stands, these choices are not data. They're telling us to look in specific places, but by themselves, they don't mean anything, right? It's not saying anything about employment in 1950. It's just saying to look there. So I can't evaluate the accuracy of these choices because there's no data yet. I have to use the data that these choices direct me to and see how that data compares to what they're saying. So unfortunately, we're going to have to just go right in and try to understand the point of all this. Over the past 200 years, the percentage of the population employed in the agricultural sector has declined in both France and the United States. Well, okay, I can do that. Ag is declining in both France and the United States, so I could put that in France and US. While employment in the service sector, which includes jobs in retail, consulting, real estate, etc., has risen. So, okay, service is rising, and it seems to still be talking about France and the United States, so I'll put those both. However, this transition happened at very different rates in the two countries. So, different rates. Now, France and the US are different. This can be seen most clearly by comparing the employment by sector in both countries. Okay, so first and foremost, if I am able to do this in some way in my mind, I'd love to just get rid of this column because they don't talk about manufacturing at all, so I don't care. Agriculture, services. France is on the left, United States is on the right. So I guess first and foremost, I'm just looking to make sure that we see a decline and an increase in all of these. That might be my accuracy test. So 1900 to 1950. So 1900 to 1950, we can see a decline and an increase, right? 28 to 35 is an increase, right? We're going down. And then the same thing in the United States, right? A decline from 41 to 14 and an increase to from 31 to 53 in the United States. Is that a different rate? Well, 43 to 32, 41 to 14, those are kind of different ending points, so maybe. And the same thing with the service sector, right? 28 to 35 versus 31 to 53, right? We're kind of starting in a relatively similar place, but the US is definitely higher and lower. So maybe that's a different rate. I don't know. I literally would need to compare this to all of the others. Maybe there's something that's even crazier of a difference, and that would be my answer. But this is looking good. It matches the overall trend, and it seems to be different rates. Let's see, 1800 with the employment by sector in 2012. So 1800, 2012, definitely going down. And in the US, it's kind of going down the same, right? 68 to 2 versus 64 to 3. Those seem the same to me. Let's look at services, right? 14 to 76 versus 13 to 80. I would say that that's basically the same rate, so I don't think that that's going to be the answer. C, 1900 to 2012. So 1943 to 3, 41 to 2, same thing, looking like the same rate here. 28 to 76, 31 to 80. Again, looking like the same rate, probably not right. D, 1800 with 1900, so that's 64 to 43, and 68 to 41. Again, they seem kind of like the same numbers. 14 to 28, 13 to 31. So yes, the choice A is right. They all had the right movement, right? They decreased or increased as they were supposed to, but only choice A has a difference in the overall kind of range of numbers between France and the United States. So that part mattered, and I don't love that it's kind of like a math question, but you don't need to actually do the subtraction. You can just kind of eyeball it and see that the numbers are very different there, and so don't panic if that happens. Just trust the fact that this is not the math section, so any math that you have to do is estimating, and it's going to be obvious.